Mumbai hit the headlines every year, but this time has been different. On Wednesday, Mumbai received almost 330 millimeters of rains in just 8 hours, according to the Maharashtra government, and witnessed winds of 107 km per hour speed. You've probably seen those pictures of trees waving about and the extent of damage and flooding that we've seen in Mumbai city. Well, it's been heavy rains all day today as well, at a time when the monsoon progress has been underwhelming. So we've had a slow monsoon so far, but very heavy rains in a span of a few hours. This is not the first year this has happened. This is a pattern which has been emerging over time. Let me talk now to Mr. GP Sharma of Skymet about it. Mr. Sharma, welcome to the show. If you can begin by explaining to us what caused the kind of heavy, unusually heavy rains we've seen in Mumbai on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, okay. You see, this time I say the Konkan region, and in that particularly Mumbai, it was under attack by multiple weather systems. Normally, one at a time, it doesn't give you so much of a deluge, and that too almost for 3 days in a row. And this time, possibly all records, earlier also we have, it's not very common to have this huge rainfall in the month of August. The core monsoon month, July, yes, Mumbai is very used to it. But then there are years when not even 100 millimeter rainfall happens in Mumbai in the month of August particularly. Yes, there have been some occasions earlier where rainfall of the tune of about 200, 300 millimeter has been recorded. But then 3 days in a row, this is almost unprecedented. We started the day before yesterday, and then yesterday also, and today also was the penultimate day actually. 332 millimeter is some figure which is not seen. It reminds us possibly that what we had in the month of July 2005 or so, when it was pouring and deluge had drowned everything, submerged most parts. Possible similar to this thing happened at this time. And this was, as you asked, there were multiple weather systems. One was, there was a system in the Arabian Sea also, northeastern parts of Arabian Sea adjoining Saurashtra and the Konkan region. There was another system which traveled across Bay of Bengal, and it came over the central parts of the country. And therefore, the surge that built up to an extent wherein extensive rainfall occurred. But the good news possibly is that we should have a relief from it shortly, today itself. And tomorrow, in any case, I think we should be much, much better off and then relieved of this intense activity. Yes.
Okay. Okay, where is it moving next? And I just want you to give us an update on how the monsoon is also progressing, because the monsoon seems to be, slightly deficient at some point, and then we have this heavy precipitation. So overall, what is the monsoon progress in your view?
See, if you remember, we started June with a huge surplus. End of June, we had 18% surplus, but somehow I would say that July was a bit of a dampener. It's a core monsoon month, the highest rainfall during the monsoon season in the month of July only. But then we fell short of the target. Actually, whatever excess we had, that got consumed in the month of July, 18%. And the situation came when we slided to a little negative also, -1%. In the first few days, 1st or 2nd of August, again, the monsoon was subdued. Therefore, the rainfall, it again slided to -2% of the normal. But courtesy this rainfall activity over parts of Konkan and Gujarat, extremely heavy activity, it's back to normal. As of today, if you talk about, it is 0-0. Okay, it could possibly become a little 1% positive also with this activity which has happened now. But then it was again going to reduce. I will say next 48 hours, it's going to be very, very limited. Even Mumbai is not going to rain now. For next about 1 week or so, I will say it will take a little break. Mumbai rains will not be seen. Moderate showers only, could be light only. So the next few days, the monsoon activity is going to be limited. But good news, that another system is coming up in the Bay of Bengal, which obviously it will take some time to travel, to establish first and then travel. It is about 3 days' time, I will say, when the monsoon will not be very strong now over the country, and then we could stand at the normal 0-0 only, or could be -1%. Again, we go back to, but then overall it is looking a little promising. Month of August, we are likely to have 2 more systems. It may not be very strong, but good enough to sustain the monsoon.
Promising. Okay. Okay, Mr. Sharma, I must ask you. So the monsoon is looking promising, which is great. The monsoon is looking promising, which is great. But I have to ask you about this erratic pattern, where you suddenly have very heavy precipitation just in 2 or 3 days. We've been seeing it specifically across Mumbai, but even in other parts of the country, we've been seeing it year on year. Would you say, is it fair to ask the question whether this is related to climate change? Are we seeing the impact of climate change in these erratic precipitation patterns?
Sure. You see, there is a change in pattern. It's not only over Mumbai or adjoining areas. We see even over the northern parts of the country, the number of days, rainy days, definitely have decreased. But the intense rain on those particular days, the frequency though has come down of those days, but then intensity has increased. So similar amount of rainfall, it is there, but then it is happening in a short time. Obviously, the global warming or the climate change, it goes without saying, it is contributing to that, to resulting a change of pattern in almost all parts. It's not only Indian region, the other parts also, but per se over the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, yes, it is surely contributing towards this change, and that's how it's happening. Intense rainfall, but then short duration. And then it happens in case of other phenomena also. So what you said is surely right. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So that's the important takeaway. This is not just out of the blue. It's an impact of climate change, and we are seeing it happen before us. Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for joining us.
Thank you.